Huawei, Vivo, Xiaomi, Oppo, and all those brands are there. We are doing two things. One, we are selling the devices. Number two, we are repairing for the customers the devices from the same location. Our aspiration is we can be able to not only sell phones, but also sell gadgets that go around and affect your digital lifestyle. For example, you need a laptop to use it at work. You need smart devices like smartwatches. You need to go working out for you to be healthy. You need cameras, accessories for phones and laptops. You need a TV at home. You need your conferencing devices, small conferencing devices for you to do your Skype calls, for your international meetings from home, because many younger people or youth want to work from home. They want to be able to interact with their counterparts from different parts of the world. As we are told, it's a global community right now. So we want to be able to talk to our customers and be able to offer products around their digital lifestyle in a very easy and convenient way.
It is a norm whenever you're looking to purchase any electronic device or mobile phone, just like this one, to be forced to walk into a shop. However, this will be a thing of the past after Go Savannah launched an online platform where you're able to purchase any of the electronic devices that you may require from the top 6 leading brands around the world. Reporting for TV47, my name is Vanessa Ndavi. What an interesting story right there. Now you're able to purchase a mobile phone at the comfort of your home, be it in the office, home, or anywhere you are around the 47 counties. Now, young people penetrating the job market have a better chance of getting employment in central or eastern part of Kenya than any other parts of the country. This is according to the 2019 Kenya Population and Housing Census data. Now, moving on, let's now look into the business stories for today. John Deere Tractors, a US-based company, has now moved into the African market, targeting Kenya, Ghana, as well as South Africa. Their annual revenue is about 40 billion US dollars, with markets being in America and Europe majorly. Let's have a listen into that story.
John Deere tractor kicks up a cloud of dust as it zigzagged across a sun-drenched field, raking up dry grass and dropping bales of hay in its wake at a farm in Nanyuki, central of Kenya. The world's leading farm equipment maker is outfitting its tractors with startup Hello Tractors technology, which allows farmers to hail the machines via an app, monitors the vehicle's movement, and transmits usage information such as fuel levels. The aim is to help the U.S. company boost sales of its famous green and yellow John Deere tractors, a tough task in a continent with the world's leading highest poverty rate and the least mechanized agricultural sector. David Kayi is a hardware engineer at Hello Tractor. He is fitting the device on a client's tractor today.
This device has an inbuilt GPS system that allows him to see where his tractor is at any given time, and also allows him to see whether the tractor is active or it's moving, or whether it's stopped, and the amount of work it has done at the end of the day for every job that it does.
Jacques Taylor, who heads John Deere's Sub-Saharan Africa business, say that the continent badly needs more machinery to develop its farming industry, but most farmers don't have the skill to justify a large investment.
The global average is 200 tractors per 100 square kilometers of arable farmland. Africa averages around 8 tractors per 100 square kilometers. Nigeria alone needs 750,000 tractors to be on the global average. So where the world is right now in terms of tractor sales, there's a huge opportunity for Hello Tractor to support that customer base.
Dere declined to comment on the investment cost for the rollout. The risks are clear. There is no certainty of any measure of success in Africa, which accounts for a tiny fraction of its global sales at present.
We do like to see that every farmer has access to mechanization. And that for us was just a natural fit, where Hello Tractor came in with an affordable telematic solution that allows us to connect people. The biggest challenge at this stage is to justify the capital investment in agriculture and financing linked to that. Because finance enables those farmers to, based on future cash flows, invest in the mechanization that they need today. And again, I think that's where Hello Tractor is just one tool that we use to bridge that gap.
Our technology is a market maker for tractor manufacturers who want to sell into those markets. Now, we know just about all the major tractor manufacturers. Some are very much interested in exploring and growing their commercial business, but a large portion of the tractor manufacturers don't have a commercial interest on the continent.
In central Kenya, Pascal Kaumbudo is testing the app on a tractor that belongs to AgriMech Africa, a Nairobi-based agricultural services firm that has taken up the offer to have the devices installed on its dairy machinery.
What we've done before is depended on the operators to record where they are and what they are doing, and you get very rough, information that way. With the Hello Tractor app, we are able to monitor how much area, and not only that, we are able to prove to others that we have actually been working. It's one thing to walk to a bank and say, hey, I work very hard. It's another thing to be able to show it.
Kaumbudo, whose company manages a dozen of tractors, envisions a future in which AgriMech runs at least 100,000 strong fleet.
Right now, we are reaching about 1,500 farmers. Within the next 2-3 years, I would like to reach 20,000, and it's not impossible. Once we have been let down by lack of capacity.
Dere's annual revenue of about $40 billion is dominated by America and Europe. It doesn't break out the numbers for Africa, but combined revenue from Africa, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and the Middle East was about $3.9 billion last year.
Today we bring you a story of a talented sculptor, Mr. Kioko Mwitiki, who hails from the Rift Valley. Mwitiki uses scrap metal to create interesting animals as well as earn a living from that. Let's have a look at that story.
These are old pieces that were done they're about 5 years old. 5 years old. I get a lot of snares from KWS that people use for snaring animals in the park.
Kioko Mwitiki, 56 years of age, estimates he has sculpted thousands of tons of discarded metal from supermarket trolleys, wheels, to shredded metal from factories into art. The artist has worked with recycled metal for 30 years, but says rising concerns globally about pollution, overconsumption and climate change make his work relevant now.
Recycling now has become a very important issue because, you just need to be really in sync with what is happening. All this plastic in the air, all this plastic in the ocean, and also the whole idea of Africa being in a very unique place. We are on the receiving end of a lot of pollution in the world.
Sometimes he draws attention to wildlife conservation, an issue close to his heart, with his choice of material. For his lion sculptures, he transforms animal snares used by illegal hunters in national parks and given to him by the Kenya Wildlife Service into dramatic manes. Mwitiki became an artist by accident after his older sister sent him to apprentice in a welder's shop as punishment after he was expelled from university in 1986 for joining anti-government protests on campus.
I grew up in an area where the migration was coming through, the wildebeest migration, in a place called Kajiado. That part of the migration does not exist anymore. because if you study migration patterns, there was a pattern that used to go up north from Tanzania to Namanga through Kajiado back into the Mara.
In his spare time, he fashioned a few artistic objects from metal. He later found them displayed at a Nairobi gallery after a broker brought them cheaply from him and sold them on.
We must teach the younger people to understand the importance of recycling, because the resources that we have are in danger of being polluted in many ways.
This led him to realize he could support himself as an artist. Mwitiki's childhood memories and concerns about growing conflict between animals and humans in his country inspired him to sculpt wildlife.
Composition. So we work slowly sometimes, and you use it also as a teaching aid as you work. So you can't work very fast because you're also teaching.
He grew up south of Nairobi in Rift Valley, where wildebeests once roamed vast plains. Those migration routes have largely disappeared due to human encroachment on animal habitats. Mwitiki has trained younger artists, including 2 men from Malawi who returned home to start similar recycling programs.
What an amazing job being done right there. And it's always important to see anyone around the country trying to earn a living by using their talent. We'll be going for a quick commercial break, but don't go far. We'll be right back.
Peterson, tumefutwa wote.
Yawa, pia wewe?
Tumeachiliwa.
Si pia wewe unaweza anzisha biashara yako?
Na hii economy venye iko tough sana.
But not too tough for Mwananchi Credit.
Tutafanya aje?
Si niko na 5 good cars. We can get a quick logbook loan approved within 6 hours.
Nataka kuanzisha salon na spa. Hii haitatosa.
Si tuko na title deed spare. We can still get more money using them. Get a quick approval within 6 hours using your logbook or title deed. Do not get stuck. Call Mwananchi Credit today. Nilikuambia.
You are a big smart joke.
Mwananchi Credit. Investor in people.
Your children came drunk to school yesterday, and I think this situation is getting out of hand. What? Cause you got my affection, baby, dedication, taking us step by step.
Siasa ni sawa na usiku wa giza. Usiku uliojaa siri, hila na karata.
I'm not money.
Na inahitaji ujasiri kuupenya.
Tunapiga mdomo sana, lakini hakuna kitu kigeni.
Mimi wewe niambia nikatae kwenda kukamua ng'ombe maziwa yangu nipeleke niende kuja Mombasa. Naomba wanakuja Mombasa ni wenye wanajiweza.
Wacha nicheke kwa sababu nafikiri kwa sababu ya hizo nguo wanavaa wanaona Wakenya wengine ni wajinga.
You cannot have your cake and eat it.
Na wakati wa Ruto kuumia kutokana na maoni sasa.
Baraza la siasa limejituma kutia mwangaza kwenye giza hili.
Ungana nami Salome Mwiruri kila Alhamisi saa 2 jioni.
Welcome back, and I'm glad you chose to stick with us on Day's Counter Show today. And now let's move on. Let's move away from home and go to China, where thousands of Africans are said to be stranded in the quarantined Chinese city of Wuhan and its surrounding province. Family associations in Senegal, Cameroon, and Kenya have since placed requests to have their loved ones and relatives return back home. However, some of the countries claim that they do not have the proper medicine and care to those who have maybe been infected by the virus. Now, let's have a look at that story.
When Margaret Ntale Namusisi's 3 daughters called to say they had been quarantined at the university in Wuhan, China, because of the coronavirus outbreak, she sent money from Uganda and told them, run very fast and do shopping.
So, generally, how are you feeling? What do you do when you wake up? What do you do?
When you wake up, it depends, because sometimes you sleep the whole day, literally you have nothing to do. So if I wake up early in the morning, then I'll try to do some research, of course. First, I watch the news to see the updates.
Valeria, Veronica and Vivian did just that. But nearly 1 month on, with no help from their government, they remain under lockdown in a crowded apartment with orders to stay indoors with the windows closed. He recovered and left the hospital in Wuhan on February 10 and now can't leave his apartment in Wuhan.
I personally wake up at 3 a.m. every morning, sit in my bed and start texting them. Hello, good morning, good morning. Before they answer me, I'm worried. Are they there? It's really traumatizing. Our girls cry, our children cry every day. The prices of goods have escalated because of low supplies. And they can't, they are stranded, they are traumatized. We too are traumatized. Our plea is to the head of the state. Mr. Museveni, help us evacuate our children.
His father, Roger Michel Kemkwining, a Cameroonian national, found out his son had contracted the virus from a statement posted online by Yangtze University, where Pavel was studying. Kemkwining was alerted to it by a friend who forwarded him the statement on Facebook. The statement seen by Reuters said that the university had informed the Cameroonian embassy and the parents, but the statement was news to Kemkwining.
That was an official document from the university that talked about an African who was infected. And I immediately saw the photo. I saw his name. The spelling was not right, but it was unmistakable. It was just an S and a P that were reversed. And I don't know. I almost got vertigo. It was as if I had been struck by thunder. I believed he was made out of rock. He never had any serious problems. And if it was the first time there was such a serious problem, that is why I was worried. I don't doubt what he says. That is cured. I don't doubt it. But I don't think I'll be able to sleep as before.
He says the association wrote to the president, Paul Biya, to request the government's help in repatriating the students, but says he hasn't got any response. He said he posted the letter on his Facebook page after the embassy failed to respond to his emails. Countries across the world have flown the subjects home from China's quarantined Hubei province, the epicenter of the outbreak of the flu-like virus that since January has infected more than 74,000 people and killed over 2,000. But no sub-Saharan African country has flown their citizens home, leaving thousands of people stranded and unsure if their governments are willing or even able to help. Reuters spoke to families from Cameroon, Uganda, Senegal and Ethiopia with similar tales of frustration. Many have set up associations to pressure their governments to act through letters and petitions. Governments across Africa have said they plan to send money to students to help in daily expenses. However, many, including Senegal, Ivory Coast and Uganda, say they do not have the resources to look after the coronavirus patients at home and that their subjects will be most safe staying in China, where authorities said the number of new cases fell for a second straight day on Tuesday. Uganda's Health Minister Ruth Aceng said in a statement last week that the Foreign Affairs Ministry will send $61,000 to students stuck in Wuhan, but the Namusisi sisters have received nothing so far. Cameroonian businessman Pison Seke, based in Wuhan, sent a letter to the President Paul Biya calling for assistance. He set up a platform on WeChat for the Cameroonian community. He said many are stressed and worried.
The worst thing is right now we do not have enough information. We don't know when this will last. We don't know how long it's going to last. We don't know when it will end. We don't have all the data. We don't really know if the vaccine is going to be found, when it's going to be found. And right now we're just trying to survive. I think apart from the economic and social aspects of being confined in your room or apartment for 3 weeks, sometimes it feels like a house arrest. I think there's also the psychological aspect, because some people in my community, they feel isolated. They feel stressed out in the fact that they cannot go or see anybody.
Dagmawi Demelash Mengistu, a business student from Ethiopia, said his school has provided latex gloves and masks, but he too complains that his government has not responded to students' calls to be flown home. He too is locked inside, short of food and money, and part of a student association that has asked the embassy to fly them home.
Our parents are worried, and students here are mentally unstable. Most students here feel like they've been abandoned by a whole lot of Ethiopian government branches, because we've seen a lot of countries, and even the funniest thing is we've seen one plane come for 4 students that are in Wuhan, and just to evacuate them, just one plane. And Ethiopian Airlines haven't stopped flights from China to Addis Ababa. So I think that's like the shot to the gut when you see that they're still continuing flights but cannot take their citizens out.
A petition has been launched on change.org calling on the African Union to help repatriate African nationals from China. Several countries have already evacuated their nationals, including Sri Lanka, who repatriated 33 students after they said food and water supplies to the university had stopped after the lockdown. Authorities in Wuhan have ramped up restrictions and measures in recent weeks as China scrambles to contain the outbreak, which has killed more than 2,000 people and infected over 70,000. Hundreds of foreigners have been evacuated from Wuhan, the epicenter of the coronavirus epidemic. More than 10 million locals live there, and the city has been in virtual lockdown for nearly a month. Many African nations are understandably nervous about a little-known virus breaching their borders.
What a sad story indeed. We do hope everyone gets back to their country safe and sound. And now we've come to the end of our today's show. However, on the segment where we get to sit down with an entrepreneur, and this week I got a chance to meet Jackie Mgido, who is a Hollywood celebrity makeup artist as well as the founder of Jackie Mgido Cosmetics line. Have a look at that interview, and until next week, it's a bye-bye for now and enjoy your weekend. My name is Vanessa Ndavi. See you next week. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to today's counter interview segment. My name is Vanessa Ndavi, and today I'm joined in the studio by Jackie Mgido, who is a Hollywood celebrity makeup artist. And for those who don't know her,
You're just about to. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you. This is exciting. I can't wait.
Take us back and tell us about your childhood.
So I grew up in Africa. I'm an African. And I grew up on a little mini farm where I was super lonely and all I had was a TV, my imagination, and a lot of color and drawing. And I loved to draw. And with that, you know, being interested in transformation got me to introduce myself to a different world.
Which is getting to US now.
Yes.
How did you even end up going to start your business back in the US?
So when I moved to the United States, as our African parents would love us to do, I was supposed to go to college, get a job, work for somebody, and my life was set, right? But I decided that I was going to go to school to learn how to do makeup. I first started with cosmetology, but found out very quick that it had nothing to do with makeup and everything to do with hair. And that was because there really weren't any schools in Washington, D.C. that were exposed to makeup at that time, because my makeup was specifically special effects, character makeup, and beauty makeup. So my husband decided, you know what, why don't we go to the place where you really learn how to do that TV makeup and, you know, video makeup. And we moved to Hollywood, and I went to a school called MUD, where I took a master class in special effects.
How did you even end up being a celebrity makeup artist? That's something everyone will dream of.
Right.
How did you land there?
Well,
how did it start?
The school was affiliated with a lot of studio. It's specifically for Hollywood makeup. And I worked extremely hard as a student.
You must have.
Oh yeah, I did. I was like, I need to do this. I interned a lot. And with that, I ended up working for free on a movie that was a low-budget movie. Like, it was about $500,000 at that time. I mean, it's still a low-budget movie in Hollywood. And I worked with my first celebrity, who was Orlando Jones.
How was that?
Amazing. Amazing. It was such an amazing experience.
Were you freaking out not to mess up?
Oh, are you kidding? I didn't sleep the night before because I was so nervous. So nervous. One, I was nervous because at that time, Orlando Jones was really popular for this commercial that he used to do. And then to have him in my seat, and he was very confident, very assertive, and I didn't really have that much experience. So it was pretty amazing.
Maybe just to give our viewers some of the celebrities that you've had the privilege to work on their faces, would be the likes of Neo, Stanley Stallone.
So this is Stallone, yes. Because there really weren't any schools in Washington, D.C. that were exposed to makeup at that time. Because my makeup was specifically special effects, character makeup, and beauty makeup. So my husband decided, you know what, why don't we go to the place where you really learn how to do that TV makeup and, you know, video makeup. And we moved to Hollywood, and I went to a school called MUD, where I took a master class in special effects.
How did you even end up being a celebrity makeup artist? That's something everyone will dream of.
Right.
How did you land there?
Well,
how did it start?
The school was affiliated with a lot of studio. It's specifically for Hollywood makeup. And I worked extremely hard as a student.
You must have.
Oh yeah, I did. I was like, I need to do this. I interned a lot. And with that, I ended up working for free on a movie that was a low-budget movie. Like, it was about $500,000 at that time. I mean, it's still a low-budget movie in Hollywood. And I worked with my first celebrity, who was Orlando Jones.
How was that?
Amazing. Amazing. It was such an amazing experience.
Were you freaking out not to mess up?
Oh, are you kidding? I didn't sleep the night before because I was so nervous. So nervous. One, I was nervous because at that time, Orlando Jones was really popular for this commercial that he used to do. And then to have him in my seat, and he was very confident, very assertive, and I didn't really have that much experience. So it was pretty amazing.
Maybe just to give our viewers some of the celebrities that you've had the privilege to work on their faces would be the likes of Neo, Stanley Stallone,
Sylvester Stallone, yes.
Sylvester, Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
Maybe you can give me any of the other names and tell us how was that?
Well, I mean, I've worked, so I always wanted to work with Oprah. And I worked with Gayle King, which I absolutely love, because for me it was like, oh my gosh, if I'm working with Gayle King, I've touched Oprah.
I'm close enough to get to Oprah.
I'm close enough to get to Oprah. That was really amazing. I mean, a lot of the celebrities, which I probably won't name everybody, because just in case they watch this video, you can always Google it. I miss somebody. It's like, you know, when you win an award and you miss your mother and you miss your husband. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of the celebrities that I've worked with, they're all online. I mean, there's a whole list of it you can see from my resume. They've been, it's such an experience, an out-of-body experience, especially being African, because it's such a, it looks like it's unattainable, and yet it is. So it's been amazing. It's an amazing journey.
Who was the best one the most memorable one that you can never forget?
So everybody is memorable, but for me, Sylvester Stallone. The reason why, because he's a legend. I mean, he was absolutely amazing. You know, I used to watch Rocky, and not only was it significant in like your motivational movie, but every single person knows it. Like, that's your motivation. That song, all you want to do is run, all you want to do is things.
Yeah.
I mean, that for me was a life. And I knew everybody in Africa would relate.
Would relate to that, because you all grew up watching him on movies, and you're seated right next to me and I'm doing makeup for you. This is big.
Oh, and the great part is I'm sitting right next to him, I'm standing right next to him doing his makeup, and all he's fascinated with, so they know me in Africa? And I'm like, duh. Everybody knows you. Even in the villages they know you, okay? They have your picture somewhere in a hut.
And for those who don't know, where is home?
Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is my home, my beautiful country, which I love. I left there 29 years ago, and I invested in Zimbabwe about 10 years ago. Started a makeup company there.
You started a makeup company. Now, bring us back there. Yes. When did all this start from? Actually, this is some of the products that belong to your makeup line.
Yes.
Maybe you can introduce us to them. But first, tell us, when did the makeup dream come from?
So, 10 years ago, I went to visit home. And I was actually supposed to invest in a company doing nails. And I don't even know why I was doing nails. And a friend of mine said, why don't you start doing makeup? And I said, no, I can't. And I was really afraid. And the reason why I was afraid is because it's that one thing that I felt I was really good at. And if I failed at it, then I failed in life. So I said to him, I don't know about this. I just want to start doing nails. Because for me, it was like, I'll just hire people to do nails. I'll be good to go. But that passion pulls you. And the more you want to do something different, the more that passion keeps coming into your face. I wanted to bring other companies into Zimbabwe to start the makeup. But as I was looking through, nobody really had what I felt was good for Zimbabwe. And so I went and got a branded company. And I also felt that they weren't carrying what I needed in Zimbabwe, what I thought that we would need, because I was African myself. And then I got a chemist, and we started with this chemist that absolutely believed in me. I had no money. It's very expensive to start this business. We started it on hope, really, hope and faith. That's really how we started this company.
That was your starting capital. Yes. That was my next question.
Oof, that capital. I mean, we took out my husband's retirement plan early. Like, he's not really allowed to take it out. You can take it out in the States to buy a house or whatever when you're younger, because they know that you're building on it. So we took it out, and we started with that first, and pretty much lost all that money.
How many stores do you have in total right now, or where can we get your products?
You can get my products. I have a studio in Zimbabwe. It's a makeup studio, and you can get it in there. And I'm in a pharmacy in Zimbabwe as well. You can get it in there. And right now in Kenya, you can get it at Linton's, at Junction, and Mama Ginda. That's how I say it. Yes, they took a leap of faith in me, and I'm in their stores.
Maybe just show what's your name is. Your makeup line is Jackie Mugido.
Mm-hmm.
You had to call it your name. Why would you? Did you not think of any other name, and why this name in particular?
So I started off in Zimbabwe as Volt Cosmetics, and there's a little story about that. The reason why I called it Volt is because I was so afraid, and I was opening up my vault. I was opening myself to people, and that's why I called it Volt. But as I grew and as I got, a chemist, and now we were looking for different ingredients to put in, and it was making it more of me, I just kind of felt like every other little girl or every other woman that looked like me would relate. They're not going, oh, Volt, okay, and kind of putting their own vision of who owns the company. For me, it was like, listen, it's the brand. You see me.
You see the brand.
You see yourself, and that's that.
How has business been, you being African and living in US and also starting a business there? What are some of the challenges that you had to go through?
Oh my God, there's so many challenges. There's so many good, and then there's so many bad. I mean, of course, the number one is finance. It's my husband and I. We're financing this. I mean, we've spent close to $1 million of our own money, But I think the most challenging part is introducing the brand and people believing it's my brand. A lot of the times they're like, oh, is she branding the brand? And I'm like, no, this is literally my brand. I have a chemist. I sometimes go in there and look and, help get this formulation together. The other challenge has been me being in the United States and coming to Africa, leaving my family, remote control managing my stores, remote control managing employees. All those things play a really big part, but they're part of the process. They're really part of the process.
What is the future for this brand? How far are we going with this? Makeup and all this.
I think the first thing for me that I've learned a lot in Africa and also being in Zimbabwe and being in Kenya is education. I am an educator. I love teaching. I know when I'm selling my brand, I'm teaching, and I always fall into the whole teaching. And trying to get women or men to understand why they're wearing makeup is a big deal for me. So this brand is evolving not only into the people's brand, but more into an educational brand. Not education as in school or whatever, but education as in why they're wearing this brand and why this brand for that specific person.
For that reason, for that specific person. What is your first job in US?
My first job in the US, I was a maid and a babysitter. I was a housekeeper for this lady who was actually pretty fascinating and funny. Because I remember very clearly my parents used to always say to me, you never know where you're going to be in life. You never know who to treat what. You need to treat everybody the same. And my maid is definitely not your maid. I didn't get it until I left, right? Because America is, and I call it an equalizer, because everybody always thinks you get to America and everything is hunky-dory. Not really. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do. But I was a maid, and it was a very very humbling.
Describe Jackie. What keeps you going? Let's start from there.
What keeps Jackie going is faith, love. I love people. I can
clearly tell that since you came in the studio. It's all love, love, love.
Yes. My endless, everlasting imagination. I have an imagination and a faith factor that sometimes I think I'm crazy.
I think it's just your personality, and it's amazing. You're a people's person.
Yes, I am definitely a people's person, and I think most of all, really, it's love. I'm just an embodiment of love.
What does humble or being humble mean to you as a person?
Acknowledging every single person that I meet, no matter where they come from, no matter what they're doing in life, and taking an interest in who they are, because at the end of the day, I think human beings just want you to look at them, say hi, just, hello, I'm here, I'm on earth. That's what we're all about. That's how we connected. So doing that no matter where you are in life. You know, I always said, even if I become a gazillionaire, the fact is, people are people.
Really humble. People are people.
People
and
are people.
For my makeup today, I'm sure you can see I look absolutely stunning and gorgeous. And it's thanks to Jackie for doing this magic to me. And maybe now for a viewer at home thinking, what is this makeup you're talking about? What products do you exactly have? For me to know, once I get to Junction and I want to look like Vanessa, I don't know, she has to do the makeup herself, or at least you can try and go home and try and do this yourself. So just take us through some of the products that you have in your store.
Okay.
That I can get in Kenya for now.
Okay. So we have our 24-hour brow pen, amazing, waterproof. Look at this needle-like point. Can I just tell you, you put on this brow pen, look at this, it does not come off. For those people that don't have dexterity, that means that if you don't have a steady hand, the brow gel is your best friend. Look at the pigment. Look at how much you get in this. Okay, I always get into trouble for this because you buy it and you have it forever. Look at this angle brush. You just go in there and just use the angle brush. It is amazing. These are your brow products, which are awesome. You have what we call a brow fixer. For those people that are moving around with the squareness of the brow, it's a no-no. We need hair-like strokes. Well, this is going to be your best friend. It has a little bit of brush, and it's like hairspray for your eyebrows. Then we have the liquid liner. If you don't have like a lot of lashes, this will just really emphasize your beautiful lashes. Look at this. Look at this. Needle-like. You can do a liner. Trust me, you can, because everybody's always like, can I do an eyeliner? I want a cat eye. This is your friend. Then we have our fabulous lip stains. Do you see how big these lip stains are? The best part? You could use it as a base for your eyeshadow. We have about 18 colors. Stays on, stays long, and guess what? You can use it for a very long time. For months. You're saying, okay, every woman who is dark-skinned needs this product. This is what we call an orange corrector. It's a blush, but it corrects the ashiness. I'm sure you all have heard of ashiness. That is when you have a gray coat to the skin, and a lot of times it happens either when you put on your moisturizer because it has an SPF in it, or you put on a foundation. It's just what it is. For us rich, dark-skinned girls, this is our friend. You always want that in your pocket. We have our concealers, really rich in pigment. There's only 4 colors because everybody under the sun has all those 4 colors, and it's very moisturizing. We have our shimmers that come in different stacks. Absolutely fabulous for all those people that love contouring. This eyeshadow palette, God sent. I kid you not, this is the best thing ever. Not only can you use that with your fingers, but you can also have the shimmer effect in there and contour your nose with it. We have the loose powders in various colors. These have loads of pigment, and sometimes I don't like to wear foundation. Guess what? I just do the loose powder by itself. And talking about loose powder, this is a compact foundation powder mixed together. Amazing. Again, when I don't feel like putting on foundation, I just use this for a very light. Actually, today I didn't put on foundation. I just used my dual finish. OMG, this brush. Look at the dexterity in this. Not only can you use this as a powder foundation brush, but you can also use to apply your foundation, which are these. I'm so excited about these. So these are adaptable to the weather, meaning you can wear them when it's hot. It's also great for people that are oily. It's also great for people that are dry. You just mix a little moisturizer. You're good to go. Let me tell you what I'm really excited about. This weekend, we're showcasing our glass jars. And the reason why we changed this into a glass jars, because we wanted to look cute, and I can afford it now. This is what happens, right? You evolve with the time. We have our liners, super affordable, very high pigmented, amazing. And did I miss anything? Our angle brushes, but listen, come to Linton's and come and enjoy, because not only will we educate you about the product, you'll get to test the product for free. Come on down and find your color.
What's going on Saturday?
So on Saturday, you're meeting me, and what we're going to do is we're just going to test your foundation, because a lot of people have a hard time. And we also going to talk about eyebrows, because eyebrows are the center of everything. You think you can't do your brows? Come to Junction. Oh, and by the way, I love giving out stuff. So I'm going to be asking a lot of questions and giving away some lip stains. Why not?
So they just need to remember this. The products are
at Junction and Mama
and at
Ngina.
Junction.
Yes.
At Mama Ngina, and on Saturday they can drop by and meet you, and they get to learn a lot because
they get to learn a lot, and we have so much fun. And it's going to be from 11 to 3 p.m. So you can have time to do your thing. I actually want to go and have time to look for animals.
You have time to go and look for animals.
I have to look for animals before I leave.
When the event finishes. I saw somewhere for me and many other people don't know, what is the difference between general makeup and TV makeup? Given that today, my look, is it only for TV or anybody at home is able to do this and look this great?
So this is what I love about this question. So with our HG TVs, right now with high definition TVs, you can't really have anything so exaggerated because it will come to life. Now, there's a difference between movie makeup, because movie makeup and TV makeup is very character driven. Okay? So it can't be the same as YouTube makeup. The YouTube makeup is more tutorial and more selling because you're selling a product, right? So in life, people like to wear all kind of makeup. So they like their little bit of exaggeration. Now, if you are a chill out girl that doesn't really do much in life and just sits around, then you probably want to put that stackable makeup. That's if you like that. But if you're a working woman like me, eyebrows, lashes, lips, a little powder, you're good to go.
You're good to go. What do you think it takes to run a successful business?
Good employees. A good team is super important. If you don't have the driving team, you can't do it alone. You're not an island. Time. I can't stress. Time is super important. Understanding that every minute is every dollar.
How do you manage to divide your time? Being a mommy of your little one, being a wife, being a boss, it's a lot.
Yes.
How do you balance all this?
You just do it.
You just do it?
Just do it.
There's no way of doing it?
Just do it. There is no recipe to that because every single day is a different day. You just do it.
You just do it. If you're not doing makeup today as a business, what would you be doing?
I don't know. That is the honest truth. I ask myself that every single day. If I wasn't a makeup artist and if I wasn't doing this, what would I be doing? I have no idea.
You haven't thought about it?
I haven't thought about it because I think I was born to do this. This is it. This is it. You know, there's some people that are just born to do stuff.
This is my zone.
This is it. I can't think of anything else.
Any parting shot that you'd like to share with us?
Any what, sorry?
Last words.
Last words, consistency. I can't say that enough. Be consistent. Time. And be humble and love. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Jackie.
So much.
This was amazing.
And
you guys
thank
are great.
you for making time to come
Absolutely.
and meet me and do this amazing interview and get to know you better. I've been watching your videos on YouTube, but now I got the chance not only to speak to you, but also to get your hands on my skin, and you made me look absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you, and thank you, Kenya.
Thank you, Kenya. So that's all we had for you this week. I wish you a lovely weekend. My name is Vanessa Ndavi, and do make sure you join me next week on Days Counter. Same time, same place. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.